Several minutes of commercial-free football starts now. Here are the Purple Mortgage Guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode Purple Mortgage Guys. Brent, Goose, and Tanner here with you. Just three mortgage guys that love to talk Minnesota Vikings football. So coming to you a little bit early this week. Bankers hours, of course. We have Veterans Day off tomorrow. So this Purple Friday coming to you on a Thursday. And we have to preface it with we still do not yet know the status of Josh Allen for Sunday. So I think the three of us are going with the assumption that we don't see any way that he plays. And that's what we're going to go with on our predictions and everything today as well. So we would probably all three be shocked if they put Josh Allen out there less than 100% against an NFC team in the middle of the season when it's not a must-win game for them by any means. So guys, we've been waiting for this one for a while. Feels a little different maybe than we thought, maybe a lot more winnable. What is on your mind, Goose?
Yeah, it's a big test. We have yet to put together a full game. I don't think you can win this game unless you do that for the first time and don't have the lulls that we've had before. I think with Josh Allen, I would have predicted hopefully a narrow margin loss with the expectation that Josh doesn't play. I'm hoping that changes things. So just really looking forward to seeing how we match up. I think it's a test all around with offense, defense, and see how we hold up.
Tanner, you concur?
Yeah, this is going to be the toughest test on the regular season schedule, in my opinion. Some people could argue the Eagles, but this is one of the toughest environments in the league to play in. And even if Josh Allen isn't the one under center, they have enough pieces and talent around Case Keenum for him to still get a win. Going to issue a couple tidbits pretty early. A lot of people are nervous about playing this offense and how explosive they are. But I'm more afraid of trying to score points on the road against this defense. I think it's supposed to be in the 30s on Sunday in Buffalo. It's not going to be warm. They're ranked fourth in total defense, giving up less than 300 yards per game. They're seventh against the pass, sixth against the run, and 13th in pass rush efficiency. So it's a top 10 unit. The offense can't afford to go into this week and not put together 4 quarters of good football. If they do anything less than that, they're going to lose. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a fun test, and I'm excited.
I have 41. Look like 10 to 15 mile an hour winds with some gusts to 25. It's going to be the exact opposite of Miami. But don't forget, in Miami, playing against Skylar Thompson, I believe his name is, third string quarterback, and very fortunate the defense made a few plays late. Otherwise, that game, and a good thing they shot themselves in the foot early too on some of those the opening drive and some of those first few series, because could have easily lost that one. In Buffalo, I think we'd all agree is a better team with a better backup in a very hostile environment. Miami was not hostile by any means other than the temperature. So I agree with everything that you guys said there. So let's jump into those tidbits, Tanner, that you so eloquently teased to the audience here. What do you have for us? Bills week, Tanner's tidbits on a Thursday.
Yep. So QB stats again this week. Kirk Cousins is 1-1 in his career against the Bills. This is going to be his first career game in Buffalo. So been in the league a long time, but this is going to be his first start against Bills Mafia on their home turf. In those 2 starts, pretty good numbers, averaging 307 yards per game, 5 touchdowns, just 1 interception, and a 118 QB rating. I had some Josh Allen stuff, but I'm actually assuming he is not going to play. I cannot imagine him taking the field with an elbow sprain. So this is going to be Case Keenum's second start against his former team. He did have 1 start when he was with, I think it was the Redskins at the time, but in 2019, I think he ended up getting hurt and not finishing that game. But 0-1 in his career against the Vikings. In that 1 start, no touchdowns, no picks, threw for 130 yards and a 98 QB rating and a 19-9 loss. So Stephon Diggs, this is Stephon Diggs' revenge game. I can't imagine there's going to be anybody on the field more hyped to play the Vikings this week than him. I don't know if you guys had a chance to catch my tweet a couple days ago. He and Justin Jefferson's numbers are almost equal this year. That's crazy to me. Diggs has 60 catches on the year. JJ has 59. JJ has 84 targets. Diggs has 83. Diggs has 857 yards. JJ has 867 yards. The one thing that does kind of set them apart is Diggs has 7 touchdowns on the year. JJ has struggled. He only has 3 finding the end zone. So Zadarius Smith is tied for second in the league in sacks going into week 10. The Bills have a pass rusher of their own. Von Miller is tied for 4th with 7. Zadarius does lead the league in tackles for loss. Now he's tied with Max Crosby with 13. Daniil Hunter and Von Miller are tied for 4th with 10. They're not 10, I'm sorry, 7. Patrick Peterson is 4th in the league in pass breakups. He's having an excellent year. Only Sauce Gardner, the rookie, Trevon Diggs, and James Bradbury have more than P2 this year. So I'm kind of curious in your guys' thoughts if the Vikings defense, they play a lot of zone coverage, but I'm wondering if they're going to do any sort of shadowing. Since we're assuming Cam Dantzler's probably not going to be playing this week. I don't know if they're going to want to set any matchups against the Caleb Evans, the rookie, against Diggs. So do you think P2 would be doing any shadowing this week?
I'm kind of scared of not only Diggs, but Gabe Davis as well. So I don't know if you shadow one and you're going to open things up for the other. Just with how set in their ways they were early in the season, I don't think we change a lot. Maybe second half if things are going way south. I guess I don't see that happening.
Yeah. And I've been really impressed with Pat Pete, but I would be nervous about his speed with Diggs one-on-one. So I think it's going to be a lot of help over the top, conservative defense. Hope Josh Allen, if he plays, makes some mistakes or Case, tries to force something. So I think it's going to be very much safeties over the top, helping out. It's really tough to shadow Diggs. They seem to do a good job of getting him moving and lining up in all different spots. But yeah, I think a Caleb's size also matches up well with Gabe Davis. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting matchup. I'm kind of surprised by that Pat Pete tidbit because it doesn't seem like anyone's really been targeting him. So for him to have that many pass breakups is pretty impressive.
For sure.
Been playing well.
This is going to be the third former Vikings quarterback the Vikings are facing this year. Teddy Bridgewater, obviously, against the Dolphins. We faced Taylor Heineke last week, and obviously if Case does start Sunday, this will be the third former Vikings quarterback that the team will play this year. So, yeah, it's kind of a fun fact.
Maybe we'll get Sean Mannion in the playoffs.
Yeah, hoping somebody will pick him up, huh?
Isn't he on the Seahawks practice squad or something?
I can't believe he's even on an NFL roster.
Yeah.
If he is, he should be. The Vikings have played the 13th toughest strength of schedule through 9 games this year. Fun fact here, the Eagles have played the 31st toughest.
Kind of kills that narrative, doesn't it, about you haven't played anybody that the Eagles fans like to throw out there.
But for some reason, the Vikings are the team that get hear all the "are they for real?"
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the Eagles playing the second easiest schedule with a 8-0 record. So they do. Who do the Eagles play? Oh, they play the Commanders. Yeah, Commanders on Monday night this week. So another team with no winning record.
I always think that's tough to look at because definitely 31 and first, your schedule's tough or easy. But if you're 8-0, obviously your opponent's records are going to be a little bit worse because you're beating everyone. But yeah, 31st is pretty crazy, especially in the most competitive division in football. Is wild.
Vikings are currently on a 6-game winning streak. Can you guys guess the last time they won 7 in a row?
I might have seen this on TV. So
I would say 2009.
Oh, then I saw a different stat. That would have been my guess.
It's been longer than that.
98?
I figured that would have been the common guess is 98, but actually 2000. In 2000, they started the season 7-0 before losing in Tampa.
Okay.
So They have not won 7 games in a row for over 20 years. So looking to break that this week.
Wow.
The Vikings are 8-6 all time against the Bills, including 4-4 at Buffalo. All 4 of the Vikings' losses in Buffalo have come by 5 points or less. I think I mentioned that earlier this week.
Yeah.
Another fun stat. They've always had close games, it seems like. The Vikings have never lost 3 games in a row against the Bills. They have lost their last 2, so hoping to break that this week as well. And they have also not won at Buffalo since 1997, so it's been a long, long time. A couple milestone stats for the week. Kirk Cousins needs 29 completions to pass Dante Culpepper for 3rd in team history. And Adam Thielen needs 17 yards to pass Sammy White for 5th in team history. And probably pretty far-fetched, but needs 2 touchdowns to pass Anthony Carter for 3rd in team history. So that's what I got this week.
Those are your Tanner tidbits. Use them to impress your friends, everybody. We're going to move right into our bold predictions, guys. We're still assuming no Josh Allen, Case Keenum. Vikings are still 3.5-point underdogs as of Thursday morning here. One bold prediction, guys, then one prediction on the final score. I think we normally start with Goose recently. So Tanner, let's start with you.
Which one are we doing first? The score?
We're doing the bold prediction first.
Okay. So I'm going to go 6 total field goals between both kickers this week.
What
In
if
the
it's
win.
What's the win?
six or more, or 6 right on the nose?
I was gonna go 6 made or 6 attempted.
6 or more field goals made
6+ made field goals. Okay.
between both teams. Lots of good red zone defense this week.
I like it.
That's interesting, Tanner. I do like the prediction though. I'm gonna go based off of the couple of games that I've watched the Bills play this year. It seems like their run defense was a little susceptible. And so I think this is a windy, cold game that Delvin Cook has to win for us. I'm going 175 all-purpose yards for Delvin, with the thought of roughly 125 to 150 rushing.
175 all-purpose.
All-purpose for Delvin.
I remember the last time you made a prediction like this, Goose. I think you predicted 150, and it didn't quite come to fruition. So
nope.
I hope you're right.
It's coming through.
I was going to go.
I'll be afraid if we shy away from the run game early. I'll be nervous. I think that's our key to winning.
I was going to go Diggs, and I was going to pair him with someone else and pick a yardage target, but I'm going to drop that. I'm going to go.
I think you should stick with it, Brent. I like the Diggs versus JJ matchup.
Yeah, but I wasn't going there because I think it's going to be a ground game. So I'm going to go Alexander Madison is going to have 80+ yards rushing this week. Not all purpose rushing.
Okay.
I think Buffalo's run defense that's the strategy to a win, is just pounding it. And he's probably one of the best, if not the best, backup running backs in the league. And that plays in very well to his style, just right down the middle. So
let's get a famous Brent hedge bet. So it won't be your bold prediction, but your JJ Diggs total yardage estimate. And it could be low if that's what you're thinking.
No, I'll say total 250. That's a bonus, Veterans Day bonus bold prediction. 250 between JJ and Diggs, and I think Diggs has a big game.
Yeah.
You guys like that matchup with Jordan Phillips, who's like twice the size of Garrett Bradbury in the middle?
No.
That makes me extremely nervous.
I don't like anything about any matchup with the middle of our offensive line recently. So
I think Green Bay's offensive line has been pretty brutal, and they were making it look easy. So we'll see. What they rush for as a team, 200+ yards.
Get lots of CJ Ham this week. Maybe throw Hawkinson at fullback.
Yeah.
Can't believe we don't have a Hawkinson prediction in here.
Bills defend the tight ends really well. Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds are two of the most athletic linebackers in the league. So I don't love that matchup.
Yeah. Packers ran for 208 yards on the Bills.
So we got Alexander Madison, 80 plus. We have Dalvin Cook, 175. That's a lot of production if those two things hit, Goose.
Yeah.
And 6 made field goals. Crazy. All right. I want to hear these scores. Vikings are 3.5-point dogs. 1-6 in a row, 7-1 overall. Something's got to give. What do you got, Tanner?
Low scoring game in Buffalo. They're going to walk away with their first win since 1997, 19-16.
19-16.
Vikings.
19-16 Vikings.
Okay.
All right. I'm going similar idea. I'm going Vikings win 24-20. If Josh Allen plays, I've got a flip-flop. I've got Bills 24-20. Same score, different result.
I just can't even imagine if he plays that they would throw the ball that much.
They have no running game, though, right?
Elbow sprains are incredibly painful, and I just can't imagine him trying to throw a ball more than 10 yards.
Their running game is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
His production is similar to Dalvin Cook's this year.
And our run
pretty
defense
crazy.
has been the strength of our defense this year. Their Vikings defense is 10th against the run. So, and we should have Dalvin Tomlinson back this week, so that should be a big plus too.
Is it trending towards him playing?
I would assume. Has he not been practicing this week? I don't have the injury report in front of me, but I would assume.
You guys remember the story about me punching the wall 8 years ago? Sammy
Yeah.
Watkins, Chris Cook couldn't cover anyone. Can't get that out of my head. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. Fans there are insane. It's going to be similar to a Philadelphia atmosphere, even though the fans are not the same type of people. They're actually human beings in Buffalo. But it's going to be a brutal environment. Kirk's never been there. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It's going to be not a fun environment. We're going to lose, guys, unfortunately. 20-19.
Oh, God.
We're not only going to lose 20-19.
Heartbreaker.
We're going to lose on a field goal of less than 50 yards from Greg Joseph at the end. And we're going to be really frustrated.
Oh,
So you're saying
Brent.
Vikings are going to get in field goal range on the final drive.
And it's going to be windy. It's going to be cold.
Miss it.
Yep. And then it's going to be
no.
like everything comes crashing down. And then we're worried about losing 3 in a row and everything that comes with it. So I hope I'm wrong.
Oh, what a terrible prediction.
Can't
I
all be
really
homers,
hope you're
guys.
wrong.
I'm usually a homer. I just don't see it. I don't feel it. Maybe I'll change my mind if Case Keenum looks like Christian Ponder on Sunday, but
I do not love the fact that we have to probably play a pretty upset Buffalo team after they didn't play very well against a division rival last week and lost. I can imagine they probably got some motivation there.
I'm going to parlay this, Goose, classic fashion here. Not only will we lose in heartbreaking fashion, but we will then be the motivated team next week, Sunday, and we will crush the Cowboys by 10 plus points.
The Cowboys I just saw right now are 2-point favorites in Minnesota.
Everyone bets on the Cowboys. That's why. It doesn't matter.
Holy smokes.
We have people in this office that think the Cowboys are the better team. We live amongst them every day. They're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about, but they truly believe that. So
People or person?
well, I don't know. They speak their opinion loudly, so we just go with it to be true. And we know it's not, but
I'm wondering who's going to be more motivated for this game. JJ playing Diggs or Diggs playing his former team?
Oh, it's definitely nice.
Diggs for sure.
JJ seems to really get up for the big stage playing in. He was really bummed when he found out the New Orleans game was in London. I think that there's part of JJ that wants to show Diggs that he's better.
Diggs is probably going to have over 150 yards. I'm just full of predictions today, guys.
There's no doubt in my mind that he'll he'll have the yard output because we're going to give it to him.
I actually like that matchup a lot coming back against Tre'Davious White, who's only played one game. He hasn't played at all this year. He has like no field experience. So hoping he maybe still has some rust, and I think JJ can take advantage of that.
Yeah. I hope
Well,
so.
there's the bold predictions. Guys, if we do come up short, what are we going to be complaining about come Monday morning? It's the same thing every week, I feel like, but
Yeah, I'm really
what's
trying
your
to get
spin on it?
creative here.
Mine's obviously Greg Joseph, so that's
You took
That's
mine. I would say Greg Joseph because this isn't a team. If we lose Monday, it's like we play the Bills. They're ranked by most power rankings across the league, like as the number one team, and it is what it is. But I would say that if we're going to be complaining, it's our offense couldn't score points, and Greg Joseph is still missing kicks to not keep us in games. So I would say Greg Joseph missing field goals. And with you, Brent.
Instead of just saying playing a complete game or offense not letting down, I'm going to specify our interior line starts to feel like a real problem for the rest of the year.
problem. Yeah, I agree. Well, guys, if Case Keenum was the quarterback of the Bills, like he was their guy, they were still looking for their long-term answer, they'd still be a playoff team. Do you guys agree with that? Like they're that talented?
I don't think they'd be first in their division, but I think
but they would still be a playoff caliber team. Like they would have a winning record
for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of times
they really have to adjust how they play because if your quarterback goes down, you rely on the running game, you become more balanced, but their running game outside of Josh Allen has been pretty rough. So I think that would catch up with them a little bit, but I think they're for sure minimum a wild card team.
I think a lot of times when the quarterback's down, you just assume that their whole team is terrible, and that's not the case. It wasn't the case in Miami. Definitely not the case in Buffalo. I think the line dropped from 9.5 down to 3.5. So give or take a touchdown is what Josh Allen's probably worth, and it's still going to be a really tough game. So you guys are predicting a win. I'm unfortunately seeing a loss. I hope you guys are right. We will see this Sunday at noon in Orchard Park, I believe it is, Buffalo, New York. 41 degrees, cold, windy. Going to be probably be a quick game, right? Probably be done by 3:00 because there's going to be we're going to be running the ball a lot. So, all right, guys, we'll see what happens. We'll check in again on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.